Okay, let's see. I think we're live. It says we're live. We will wait for things to come in. Let's see. Hello. Are we live? I'm waiting for my friend to let me know. Okay, Mexican Bells. If you're
Isabel.
Yes. Oh, are we live? Thank you. Yeah, Isabella's real friend. She's been waiting.
Creeping. Love it.
Oh, hello. Oh, hi.
Okay.
Hi, Jessica.
Jess is actually the one who helped me set this up. So thank you, Jess. You guys. Because I've only been a guest using this. So I was like, Jess, please help me. But anyways, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I am here with Kristie from Read Between the Wines.
Hello.
I know who she is. Miss 500,000 plus followers on TikTok, celebrating 100,000 on Instagram. Kristie's doing giveaways on her Instagram as well this week.
I am.
May be in one of them unless the giveaway closed.
Nope, it's still open. It's still open. You're good.
So if you want one of these, you can go to Kristie's page. And then, of course, we are here with Miss Melanie Harlow, the woman of the week. We are happy release week.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so crazy. It kind of feels like this book has been out for like 2 months, even though it's only been
because we've been talking about it for that long. Yeah, I know.
Talking about it for so long. But yeah, so we are here with Melanie and Kristie. It's a Book Bonanza reunion as well. The little trio from Book Bonanza.
Team Harlow at Book Bonanza. Yeah.
And we're here to talk all things Hideaway Heart, Melanie's newest release that came out on August 7th. So this is the second book in her Cherry Tree Harbor series. First book is Runaway Love. They can all be read as standalones. I asked you guys on Instagram for questions, and you guys gave me questions, which is so nice. You know, I forcefully asked them for questions because if you follow me on Instagram, you may have gotten a discount for Sephora. So
I did see that. I did see that.
Well, Melanie, I can text you a link.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll give you a discount. So what should we start with? Maybe we should start with going around and saying what our favorite Melanie Harlow book is, or maybe quickly what our intro was to Melanie Harlow. So I'll start. So back on my TikTok, I used to do something called author marathons. I say used to. I would like to bring them back, but they are a lot of work. But I did one for Melanie, and Melanie was on my radar because I love small town romance. And everyone was talking. I listened to Ignite, which a lot of people start from you. Someone actually asked me privately on Instagram. They were like, you talk about this author a lot. Where should I start with her? And I was like,
I love that. I love that.
Yes. So I listened to that on audio, and then I was like, oh, I love this. She has a whole bunch of other books. Let me get them for my Kindle or on audio. So I binged them for a week, and I literally didn't give a single one of them under a 4.5 star. Like, this woman, she's an author for me. And I mean, I don't want to be biased and say that my favorite book currently is if we're not going to say Hideaway Heart, I also love Melanie's whole Bellamy Creek series that starts with Drive Me Wild. It's a 4-book series. It's so good. I can't pick a favorite in that series because it changes. Sometimes it's Call Me Crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's Drive Me Wild. It depends on the day. So
that is totally acceptable. I will accept that.
It's allowable.
Yes.
Kristie, what was your story with Melanie?
You know, I found Melanie, I think it was through a Kindle ad in the middle of COVID in the downtime, let's call it. And it was Irresistible. And it was right at, I think it was around the time the last book was coming out or something. I don't know. And I binged. Like, I just straight binged the entire series and then moved on to Bellamy Creek and then whatever. And that's kind of how I started. And I think I connected as soon as she said Michigan because I live in Michigan. So for me, it was like, I know what she's talking about. Like, I know she means Traverse City. I know that highway. So I just kind of connected on it, like knowing the vibe because I've been to where, quote unquote, Cloverleaf Farms is. And that's just kind of where my obsession started, and she hasn't been able to get rid of me yet. So, and for me, I have too many favorites, but I think it's probably a 3-way tie with Ignite, Tempt, and Hideaway Heart for me.
Yes.
Those are my babies.
Melanie, do you have a favorite book?
My favorite one is always the one that I'm currently writing because I have to love it that much to live in it every single day. That said, there are a few that just seem to like flow really easily. I really loved the heroine in After We Fall, Margot. So that book is always a favorite of mine. I really, really loved Call Me Crazy, The Marriage of Convenience from Melanie Creek. That one I feel like was just flowed. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite.
I know they're all your babies. They're all
my babies. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me go into some questions that I got from Instagram. This first one said, "What are your favorite tropes to write about?"
Oh, you guys could probably answer this. Like single dad, obviously. I love a guy who's like grumpy but great with kids. I love an age gap. Have I written? Oh, I guess Tempt was my last age gap. Love an age gap. I love grumpy sunshine chemistry. Love only one bed, forced proximity. Can't get enough of that. Those are probably my favorite ones.
You are the single dad queen, 100%.
I can't stop with them. There's just something about it. It's catnip for me too.
And then, someone else said, any plans for writing a new book trope, something you haven't done before?
Besides my mafia rom-com.
There it is. Yes, she has said it publicly. Yes.
Wendy told me that you mentioned this out of panel. I got a text from someone who was there.
Yeah. I'm like, as soon as I figure out a way to make that work, I want to write a mafia rom-com.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just have to wait for an idea to strike. Like I always say, I am not the author that has like the idea file. I only have one at a time, and I got to let it like percolate and develop. And then I write that book, and then I like wait for lightning to strike again and send me another idea. So, yeah, I would love to write, something totally new and different. So mafia rom-com is still like, I'm waiting for the lightning to strike on that one. I can't think of like another one that I haven't done. I don't know. You guys tell me, what haven't I done?
Bodyguard is pretty fresh.
Yeah,
that was really fun. And I struggled with Bodyguard because, and as Kristie will attest, because I was texting her all the time being like, do I need suspense in this? Like, do I have to actually put her in jeopardy? And I was trying to talk myself into being like, no, I don't need any suspense. And Kristie would be like, Mel, this is like the promise of this premise. You have to at least have her in some kind of like jeopardy. And I was like, fine, I'll do it, but I won't like it. And I actually did end up liking it. I had a lot of help from Catherine Cowles.
Oh, the queen.
She's so great. She's very patient with me. I was like, can you help me work out what might happen, for XYZ? And she would listen. She would make suggestions. She was fabulous. Yes.
She's a great person.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is her specialty.
Yeah. I'm very lucky that we happen to be friends, so I could like go to the queen of suspects and be like, excuse me. Yeah. So that was fun. And I ended up enjoying it in the end. It suited that story, that trope, the premise, the characters. Will I start weaving suspense into everything? Probably not in a small town, but
we'll see about that. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah. But I never thought I could write X's dad.
You have to get
I was like, how could I write X's dad? It's so forbidden. It does not really seem like a Melanie Harlow trope. But I had to kind of sit with it until a way to do it came to me. And then I had a great time with it because I got to write age gap with that one.
this next question we can all answer. This one, someone asked favorite book boyfriend from any Melanie series. Obviously, again, Xander. But then also, I do love Zach from Attempt, and there is a little tie back to a certain book that actually I really had no idea I wasn't expecting, and I'm so happy. I was like squealing. I was like, of all books, because all of Melanie's books, they all are connected in some way, but you can read them as a standalone, which is why you can start, basically wherever you want, but they all just have little Easter eggs. There are also Easter eggs to other authors' books, like Michael's, when you read the Michael's book and stuff. So little Easter eggs all around. But again, you can start anywhere. But I do think Zach, reading about him was very special.
Yeah, that was a fun little Easter egg to put in there.
It was.
Kristie, I think I know your answer too.
Oh, I mean, it's so hard. Obviously Xander, I think, is someone that's on my mind 24/7. But I love Dex and the way he was with his kids. I think for me, that's what drove it home. But I have to say, a secret silent winner for me is Hutton.
From T.
I loved the quiet in the streets, loud in the sheets type of guy. Something about him was just so cute, and with his social anxiety and being willing to put himself out there for him, I just adored. But I mean, pretty much all of them. Can I say all of them? Can that be the answer?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
You have a favorite one, Mel, or one that I guess sticks out to you, a memorable one for you?
I really loved Nick from Forked. And so then when I wrote the second generation and he was Gianni's dad, I had to give the heroine a tiny crush on the dad.
That's amazing.
So that's me talking there. Yeah.
That's funny.
I love it.
Oh, that's great. See, they're all memorable. They all, again, like I said, especially with the Bellamy Creek series, it's a rotation. It's on the day which one I want to focus on. Someone else asked, what was your easiest and hardest book to write?
Gosh, I don't know. Nothing ever feels easy at the time. I always feel like writing is the hardest job in the world while I'm in the middle of a book, and then I finish it and I'm like, I love this job. There are certain books, I would say Call Me Crazy, like I said before, that one, because I had set it up in the prior story. I knew who they were. They couldn't stand each other. They had to get married. And so it was just a joy to write their forced proximity, their banter. There wasn't only one bed trope running through that. So that was really fun. Also, I'm trying to think of another one that I felt like, oh, I love my job. I love my life. I wrote Insatiable, which is book 3 in Cloverleaf Farms, fairly quickly. I felt like I had that was a friends to lovers, which can be tricky because when people are already friends, what's the good reason that you shouldn't be together? It can be hard. So, but I really loved the character of Noah, and Meg was, I thought relatable. You get scared to confess to your friend that you have feelings and you'd upend your life for him. Is he, does he want you? So I did like writing that one. The hardest one to write, gosh, this is an older book, but one that was really hard to write because I was so scared was a book called Some Sort of Happy, because the hero had OCD and some anxiety, and OCD wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Once I did the research, I was like, to do this character justice and to be respectful and sensitive, this is going to be a really hard character to write. And I rolled around on the floor and cried face down in the carpet a few times because I was like, this is a mistake. No one's going to read this. But actually, I get a lot of emails still about that character. A lot like Hutton.
Yeah.
That was kind of hard to write too, because I'm like, oh my gosh, when a character has so much anxiety, it's going to be really hard to open up. But Hutton was okay one-on-one, especially with Felicity. So that made that a little bit easier. But Yeah, some books I just panic about and worry because you just want to do the characters justice, and you get scared that it's not going to happen.
This is a good question because I feel like I got a little behind the scenes about this at Book Bonanza in real time, and it was what made her decide to bring back the man covers.
Oh, yeah.
Two beautiful man covers out right now. I don't know if Kristie has them by her, but she does have. Oh,
weird. Well, they're just sitting right next to me
does.
at all times in my office.
Wow. Look at them. Look at those. Oh,
Yeah.
And the spines, look at this. The spines line up.
I know, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I don't even have it yet. I ordered some. They haven't come yet. So it was several things. The first one was that I missed it. I missed having that inspiration because I'm someone who chooses the cover photo before I write the book. So I missed it, having that inspiration. I felt like my readers missed it also. I just I don't know. It was kind of a gut feeling that I had taken a misstep in skipping the man cover, and that all readers really wanted was the option to have the discreet. And I didn't have to go like full on discreet across the board. And then, so I had been thinking about it because I am like not a person who adapts easily to change. Like, I dislike change. So the whole going completely discreet was hard for me as it was anyway, and I was really scared about it. And it went fine, but I just had this feeling that I needed to go back to how I had covered books before. And then while I was at Book Bonanza, look, reader after reader after reader kept mentioning the man covers. And I was like, who are you people? And where were you like before? Because all anyone was talking about was how no one wanted humans on covers. So I was like, oh gosh, I guess if that is the way that the market is going, and it can be difficult to advertise books with a lot of skin on the cover. So that was why I sort of made the change. But then at Book Bonanza, everybody was like, oh, I love your man covers. And I'm like, this is a sign from the universe. I need to listen to my readers. I need to listen to like my gut. And I need to kind of tune out the voices that are telling me that the way that I was doing it wasn't right. Because it feels right for me. And I think when I made the announcement about the Hideaway Heart cover, I cannot tell you how many emails I got back and how many messages, like gratitude, relief. Like, I was astonished, actually. I didn't hear one negative thing. And it just was overwhelmingly positive. I was really, really surprised by it, actually. And then this is kind of interesting. I was giving a presentation at a writers conference, and I was talking about how I had changed things up and how I wasn't sure it didn't deliver the results that I really wanted. And I think some of my readers got nervous, even though I've been doing this for 10 years and I have 30 books out. What I wanted was for readers to kind of trust that I would deliver the same kind of story. But someone spoke up right there in that class and was like, I'm one of those readers who didn't buy the new book because it didn't look like it would be hot like the other ones. And I was like, oh my gosh. So some authors, I think, can put flowers or illustrated couples on their covers and readers will trust that it's going to be hot. I can't do it, I don't think, because for so long I had done this other thing. So, but I appreciated her, honesty that she hadn't bought the other book because she didn't think it looked hot. And then I was like, don't worry, I have a man chest for you. So I feel really good about the decision to go back to man chest.
They're the two new ones. I'm not kidding you. They're so beautiful. I love the way they turned out, like the font, the pictures. Again, I know at Book Bonanza we were looking at models and pictures and the vibes with the font. It was great.
I was panicked because I had already written this book. I mean, it was like I had like a week to get a cover out. My cover reveal was coming, And Kristie had to listen to me moan about this every single day. And we looked at so many photos. And then I was like, you know who I wish I could put on the cover? I was like, Joseph Canada. Because I had put him on a cover before years ago. I wonder if I have that.
I have it somewhere.
Oh,
I don't know where it's at.
My friend loves him. I don't know
me too.
cover models or anything, but she's a very big fan of him. And when she saw he was on the cover, she's like, Kelly, he's my favorite cover model. He's so nice and Canadian, I think, and just a very nice man. Beautiful cover model.
He is beautiful. He's so nice, Canadian. And I reached out and I was like, hey, I might need to buy a photo really quickly. Do you have anything? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. So he sent me a bunch of pictures and nothing was quite right. And so he was like, well, I could take some for you. And I'm like, that would be amazing. Can you get them to me in a week? And he was like, well, sure. And he got them to me the next morning.
Yep.
I was beside myself, and I saw there were a bunch that would have worked, but that one is my favorite one. So I was like, sold. Thank you. And then my designer had to add a bunch of tattoos.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because he has tattoos, but not that many. And I'd already written the book. I couldn't take the tattoos out of the book. And so, yeah. But then he was funny. He sent me a message after he saw the cover and he was like, well, now I want more tattoos.
Like, you should.
Yeah.
So natural. And literally, he looks just like how I think Xander is supposed to look. And that's what I like when the cover models, and I love models on books, and I just like when they actually match what.
Yeah. And that can be really hard.
Yeah. Even sometimes with women, they'll be like, oh, she's a brunette. And then the cover will have a blonde. And it's like,
yes. Like, I'm confused.
I know, but I got to stick up for authors here because it's so hard to find good cover photos, you guys. It's so, and photos for graphics or ads, like you just sometimes have to go with the mood of the book and not maybe exactly what you described. But I know it's frustrating too for readers. That's why I love having it before I write the book, because I'm like, what? This is the man? Okay, can do.
That's very smart. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Get the picture first, and then you can go from there.
There is a question over here about whether someone loves Strong Enough, which is my male romance. And did that just pop up?
I can pop it up. I can pop it up.
I mean, how did it know?
That's me. On my magic end, I can control.
That was absolutely amazing.
Oh my God. So sorry, guys. I got really excited about myself for a second there. Love to know if you plan to write any more male. I don't have any plans to write male. It is very difficult to genre hop like that. So I don't write fast enough. If I could write, let's say, 8 books a year, and I could give some to the male readers and some to the regular, like, MF contemporary romance readers, then maybe I would, because I really did love writing that book. But it's there's some crossover, but for the most part, it's 2 different audiences, and it's really hard to serve both of them consistently and well. So I sort of had to make the choice that, you know, which audience I could best serve, which stories I could best serve also. So that's why there's only the one, but I do love it.
Yeah. So if anyone has more questions, you can pop them in the chat there. But I would love to transition to talk about the star of the show, the light of my life, a big part of my personality that has been this way for the past few months. We have the newest release from Melanie, like I said, Hideaway Heart. This is book 2 in her Cherry Tree Harbor series. Like I said, first book is Runaway Love, does feature characters who are in this book. Is it necessary to read before this? Technically, no. Do I like to read them in order? Yes. Also, they're quick, spicy reads. Runaway Love is a single dad nanny, and it's so good. So I just recommend just get them both. Get the discreet.
You know what? Runaway Love is free. For the rest of today. It's free through the rest of today. So if you run to download it right now, all the way up through midnight, probably, it's free.
Okay, very good. Yes, I know a lot of us posted about it. Everyone's very excited. Some people messaged me. It's very fun when like I'll post about free books on my stories and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I had no idea. Thank you." Oh, yes, and you know, your books will pop up free on occasion, which is very nice. So always follow Mel, look at her stories for, you know, any special freebies like that for a certain time. But so, like I said, we have Runaway Love, which is Xander's brother. So Xander, the main guy in here, is introduced in Runaway Love. This is his story, Hideaway Heart. Melanie, if you would like to do a quick overview of the book, you could take it away.
Yeah, sure. So the heroine, Kelly, is a country music singer. She's sort of like not Taylor Swift level, but like she's popular. And so she's got a lot of paparazzi following her. She's got like crazy fans, and she needs a break like from all the chaos. And so she's booked this like cabin in northern Michigan where she's like, no one will ever find me. I've got to get away. She's kind of rethinking some things in her career. And her brother, who is a Navy SEAL and he's deployed, reaches out to a buddy of his and is like, hey, I know you used to do private security, because Xander is also a former Navy SEAL and he used to do private security. Now he moved back to his hometown. He's opening up a bar and he owes this guy a favor. And the guy's like, could you please provide security like full-time 24/7 for my sister while she's at this cabin in your neck of the woods? Like, she's not really going to want you there, but like, don't, whatever you do, don't leave her. And Xander is like, I got this. So, cause he owes this guy basically his life. So when he shows up at the cabin, she, of course, does not want him there. She's looking for peace and quiet, not this giant bearded tattooed guy up in her space. So it was just a lot of fun to write them. Their like chemistry and banter at the beginning when they would butt heads. But it was very clear, you know, to her right away, he's not leaving. So she's got to put up with him. And then they slowly like start to get closer and closer and make friends. So yeah, it's a really, I mean, a lot of people are saying they read it in like one sitting. So
I read 50% in like one sitting. And one thing about me is that's why I'm mostly an audiobook person, is because I am a slow Kindle reader and physical reader. I used to be much faster, but now sometimes it makes me fall asleep. I knocked out 50% in one sitting. I was so proud of myself. I couldn't put it down. It's very fast paced, I think. I think once you get started with them, you just like can't.
Yeah. There's not a lot of outside stuff. I mean, it's just the two of them for a lot of the book.
Thing to read. I don't want my characters separated. Why would I want them separated?
Right. I agree.
The entire, that's why forced proximity and is like my favorite trope.
Yeah.
Them to leave. Like just this, the whole book.
Yeah, love in a phone booth. I love it too. Like it's just so that was really, I think that's why it's kind of like I just kept pushing them together and pushing them together and pushing them together. And then once that like chemistry explodes, then there were a lot of fun, spicy scenes to write. And then she does get to meet his family a little bit. So the series is connected through his family. There are 4 brothers and a little sister. So she gets to meet some of his family and stuff. And then there's a little bit of suspense too. So yeah, it was just a really joyful kind of relationship to write. One of the things, and this is so interesting, I want to ask you guys about this. A lot of the things that I'm seeing is like, oh, there's such good communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a thing?
Yeah.
Readers are
pointing this out now in books. And
I
notice it where people will really applaud characters who just can work out their issues in the moment. Like, oh, we had a misunderstanding. Case closed. We're moving on. People really appreciate that. And you know, miscommunication is not.
It's not it.
Yeah.
Anymore. They don't want the conflicts. And this, like, you know, it doesn't have, you know, like a third act breakup or anything really.
No, it doesn't have like it has a dark moment where there's
right.
like
but again, it's not like a full on
Yeah.
they didn't
for whatever, and then they have to work their way back. No, it's very handled very maturely. They express their emotions to each other very well, which again you're noticing in the feedback, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, because I not everybody is a great communicator. So there are going to be times when you say things you don't mean, or you don't say the thing you know you should say because you're scared or whatever. So I just, I mean, every story works differently, but I had just never noticed so many readers talking about communication before. So that was something new that I was like, oh, this is really interesting.
Well, I knew it the first time I kind of realized that Xander and Kelly were very good at communicating is he says something, I don't remember what it is, but he says something and it pisses her off. And then he immediately apologizes like 5 seconds later because he realizes it. And I was like,
you're talking about, but I can't remember the exact thing you did.
Right? And it's like, do real men do that? Like it was one of those things that it was just really refreshing to see him realize almost immediately that he shouldn't have said what he said.
He had a little help from Veronica.
Yes, he did.
He had a little conversation with Veronica and realized that, maybe he owed her an apology. Yeah. I mean, I never even thought about that. I guess it's something that I appreciate as well, when you can be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And then you move forward and you keep, bringing them closer. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
I have a good question here from my fellow audiobook people. I know the audio is coming soon, right?
It is. Yes. I'm really sorry, audio listeners. I got a little bit behind, and so I missed my deadline to have it like come out simultaneous with the ebook, but it is being recorded, and I believe I will have the audio files next week. And then it's just a matter of I have someone listen to make sure that everything is smooth, and then I upload to ACX, and sometimes it takes like one day only to go live. So everybody cross your fingers, and I think maybe in like 2 weeks audio could be out. If I was farther ahead, we wouldn't have these problems. Sorry.
Yeah, I know sometimes Audible is just really weird with like dropping audiobooks. Like I know like Devaney Perry, like a few of her recent releases have dropped like a couple days before the book is out on Audible, and like it'll get delayed. It has to go through like an approval process. So you just
there's an approval process, and getting a pre-order set up can be a real clunky process. Not that I've ever been able to do it because I'm never that far ahead, but so usually my audio comes pretty close to the ebook release. I try. I try.
Can you reveal who the narrators are yet?
Yes. So my male narrator is a guy named Patrick Zeller, and he was recommended by Corinne Michaels as someone who does very good military or former military guys. And then my female narrator is Amanda Stribling, and she's from Tennessee, because it was really important to me that I have someone that sounded kind of authentically from that, part of the country, because, it's not a real thick, heavy accent or anything, but there's a little bit of a drawl. So, so she was available. I met her at Book Bonanza.
Did you?
Actually, yeah, she came over, and I was like, hi, I really need a narrator from Tennessee. She was really sweet. She was like, I will work with you.
That is so funny. I'm so excited to experience it on audio, because I guess I've experienced most of your books on audio. I've read a couple of them, like the ones that I had to ARC read, but and a lot of the other ones I do on audio, and I also probably own all of your backlists on audio too, because it's always an Audible sale, so you just have to.
Yeah,
I have so many that are just sitting there, and I can't wait to binge. But I feel like this on audio is going to be so good.
Yeah, she was really cute. The narrator messaged me when she got to chapter 5, and she was like,
everyone's talking about chapter 5. We will not spoil, but in Melanie's reader group, everyone always brings up, they'll be like, chapter 5, LOL.
Yeah, chapter 5 made them laugh. That's the whole goal. I just want to make you guys giggle and swoon. That's the goal.
Exactly. Do you have a favorite part of the book maybe that stands out? I guess not like an aggressive spoiler, but I feel like
I loved their meet cute.
yes.
I loved, when he showed up at the cabin and she was like, "You will turn around and march right out of here, mister." And he was like, "No, can't do." I loved that scene. Trying to think, there's a few others that I won't spoil, but some of their like more intimate scenes I really liked. I loved when she wants to go for a run and he's like, "Well, I'm coming with you." And she's like, "Can I not even just like go for a jog?" And he was like, "Nope." And then he's like racing her. She doesn't want him to win, but she's like a lot smaller than he is. And he lets her like get ahead a little bit. Like just those like little teasing moments are really fun to write.
I loved when she faked being asleep in the car and he checked her pulse.
Yes.
Like that's such a military man thing to do, but like in general, when she was just like, I loved it.
That was literally my favorite part because honestly, pretending to be asleep is something I would do. So I was I understand her. I respect her hustle. And I love her. So yeah, that was my favorite. And then also, I mean, right before that, the scene in the bar.
Yeah.
Which I know people have teased because it's a really good little romantic moment. Was so good. I was squealing.
Yeah. That was
happened. So it was delicious, really.
that was fun to write. I don't know if it's spoilery to say like she wanted to go out for dinner and she was like, can we please go? And he was like, "Okay, well, fine. You have to follow my instructions." Like, and so he's like giving everybody around them dirty looks. And he says to her, like, "I want everybody to think you're with me so they will not approach you." And she's like, "Is this a fake date?"
Their banter was just like, it was too good. It was so cute.
Again, they were a lot of fun.
I like my grumpy sunshine to be like a really big grump and like an aggressive sunshine. I really like the polar opposite. So I feel like the way she would like play with him and joke with him, and he would obviously get softer and softer to it. It was just so
yeah.
Fun.
They were fun. I mean, she just wanted to poke at him and poke at him and poke at him because if she had to put up with him, she was like, "Well, I'm gonna have some fun with this, I guess."
Poking the bear.
Poking the bear.
The black bear.
Good question, because I had a similar question because the whole reason I knew that this bodyguard book was happening when Runaway Love was announced, because that's how we got Kelly Jo Sullivan, was because I asked if there was going to be a cowboy book in this series.
Yes.
And I asked if she could fall in love with the small redhead named Kelly. And she goes, "I don't have a cowboy, but how about a bodyguard?" And I was like, I perked up because I was like, when has she ever done a bodyguard? Number one. So someone asked, how long does it usually take to fully plan out a book, or do you plan the whole series first? So do you have this whole series mapped out, basically?
I try to map out. I know who the hero or heroine, like with the family member, like whose book is going to be what, and I have a loose idea about tropes. I almost wrote the bodyguard book as book one, but then I was like, no. Starting with a single dad is very Melanie Harlow. The readers will, it's like it feels right to me. So I started with the single dad, but then I knew the bodyguard was coming. And that's why when you messaged me and you were like, "Could you please write a cowboy and a short redhead named Kelly?" And I was like, how do you feel about bodyguards? And I had never had a Kelly as a main character before. And I was like, boom, it's perfect. And then, I know tropes for books 3 and 4. Book 5, I have a rough idea. So I am not great at plotting out before I write. I have a general idea of like the character arc. I got to take this character through their emotional baggage so that they can be in a relationship and communicate well and be healthy. So I have some idea of that, but as for like chapter by chapter or scene by scene, I cannot do it. I have to just get in and start noodling around, and then it takes shape in my mind. So I know a lot about their backstory, what brought them to that point, and why they are not in a successful relationship at that point, and what they need to do to get to the point where they can have a successful relationship. But I'm unable. God, I wish I could plot it out like chapter by chapter. I feel like my life would be easier if I could, but I can't. So, so I don't even know if I answered the question. It takes me a few weeks when I'm going to start a new series. It takes me a few weeks maybe to map out what it's going to look like, maybe like a month. And then each book takes me about 2 months to write.
Wow. Yeah, no, I was going to say, well, we do have the third book. I'm going to keep flashing it up. The book 3 is set up a little bit in this one. I am very, very excited. I love families so much. I love books about families. And actually, someone asked on Instagram if you have a preference writing about like a family of mostly sisters or of mostly brothers.
I had never done brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I had never done brothers. I had only ever done groups of female friends and sisters. And then I had one series, Bellamy Creek, was 4 guy friends, childhood friends. And then Next Generation, obviously, those were sisters and one friend. And yeah, I was like, okay, it's time for the brothers. So that's how that happened. And I just really love the brother sister dynamic. So I had to put a sister in there.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't say when her book is, but I'm actually very excited. It'll
be the last one because she's the youngest, and I ended up going oldest to youngest in this one. Which I usually start with the youngest. I don't know why. I've done that before. Yeah, like Franny was the youngest in Cloverleaf Farms.
Yeah.
And Winnie was the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to go in the other direction. Start with the oldest. I'm an oldest child. So I was like, you know what? Me first.
Someone asked, where do you get your inspiration? Because you've written a lot of books. So where do you get the inspiration from to keep going?
Anywhere. It could be, another book. It could be a movie. It could just be a song. Like the book I was talking about earlier, Some Sort of Happy, that was inspired by a poem called OCD Love Story. I think the poet is Neil Hilborn. It was so beautiful. And I saw it on YouTube because he's like a spoken word poet. And I was like, this sounds like such a great story. And then like a book like After We Fall was sort of written in honor of one of my favorite romances growing up called Years by Lavrell Spencer. He was a grumpy farmer.
I was going to say, that's the book that you mentioned.
Yes, he's a grumpy farmer.
We can bring back farmer romances.
Age gap.
I love the idea of a farmer romance. And I think
she was like the plucky school marm that had to live in his house. Like it was just like it. All of my romance buttons were installed with that book. So After We Fall was kind of like my take on a modern take on that kind of on those tropes. Tropes come first for me a lot of the time. If I think like, okay, I really want to write. Oh my gosh, somebody listened to Years. That makes me so happy. I mean, because this book is old school romance. It's like from like 1990 or something. Like it is old school romance. I have my I have multiple copies of this book, but like look at this cover. Like
I love it.
Oh wow. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so
isn't that? And that was one of the reasons why I loved the Hello Lovely tempt. Because like this font reminded me of like this kind of thing. Yeah.
The setback and everything. I could see it.
Yes. So I love like old school vintage romance. Oh my gosh, it's on Audible Plus. That's amazing.
Listen because of you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah. I love an old bookstore. So I'm always like, anytime I'm in a thrift store or an old bookstore, I like look for these like old 80s, 90s books that I loved growing up that I stole from my mother.
That cover wouldn't work as an ad on Amazon, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Like,
Not
this
a
would
chance.
not happen.
Nope.
You get policed by Amazon. They say,
Yup.
Yeah, like here's another one, you guys.
Ooh. Separate beds. Hello.
separate beds.
Yes, separate beds. That was an I think is that the here's the tagline, you guys. First came the baby, then came marriage, then came love.
Oh,
Accidental pregnancy.
I love it.
Yeah, I love old school romance. I really do.
Yeah, as someone who's like, I haven't read like any old ones yet, but I do dip my toe into historical romance on occasion. Like, I've read like obviously all of the Bridgerton books, but those are not old. But Harley Quinn does have, a little bit older in her catalog that I do have as well, but just something about them.
Yeah.
And the covers, I'm absolutely obsessed with the covers. Like, some of my friends have beautiful like historical romance collections with like all the covers and like vintage, the step backs and everything, and they're so beautiful. That's why I think that's why I love people covers.
Yeah.
Something about them. And then also like with the Temp special edition, if it's character art too, and it looks beautiful like that on a cover, I'm like, yeah, sold. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the Tempt is just, I feel like I know every single person who owns one of the Tempt, it's their prized possession. They're obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean that it sort of took me by surprise how like cuckoo everyone was for it. But I mean, I get it. I love that book too, and the cover is really different for me, and it was a cool thing to have. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it'll be me, even though I try to manifest, but I feel like Kristie maybe has a better chance. I would like a special edition of this down the road. Again, if it can't be me, maybe someone else will work on them. But and then also speaking of special editions, I have my whole Melanie Harlow shelf downstairs. Is the Ignite special edition? Is that still?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look obsessive, but I do have it right here. But it's because I'm giving it away right now, so I have her books I'm giving away on my desk. But yes, here it is. I swear, I don't stalk her.
Kristie's gonna pull it from this.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna pull Melanie out. You think she's there, but really, I keep her chained in my basement.
In the next room. Yeah. Let me out. Yeah, you can get that one for 5 more days. If you go to my website, I need to make sure I'm not lying about this, you guys. I'm just checking my website really fast. If you go to my website, it says bookshop over on the right, and that's where you will find the Ignite order form. It's the only one there. I'm not selling anything else on my website, no other books except that one. So if you go to where it says signed books, it's very cool. It's beautiful.
So pretty person. Like, I mean, it looks
like Vanna White up there.
I am. Yeah. Just the silent. Look how cute this is. The heart. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that was the first one. And Kristie helped me with that. And then there are more plans in the works. So we'll keep manifesting it.
So I'm one of them. I'm a little monster when it comes to special edition books. I can't really help it, and especially like small town romance ones. I think they always turn out so pretty. You guys always even your discreet covers, like Corinne Michaels' discreet covers, and Elsie Silver discreet covers are insane. Like, everyone just has these beautiful discreet.
Ooh, Elsie Silver has a new cover tomorrow, and I saw it.
I heard people saying her group, it's amazing. I saw people talking about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's beautiful. I am blessed to be on Elsie's ARC team that I weaseled my way on, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, covers are it's stunning. So everyone's gonna lose their mind when that comes out tomorrow. So
yeah.
Advance copy of it, Melanie? No.
What's that?
Did you get an advance copy of Hopeless yet? I know some authors were getting.
You know what? I didn't ask her for it, but now that you say that, I should. Like, I should make her send me one.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I think it was Catherine Cowles who posted that she got it.
So, yeah.
Yes, with her, she'll give it to you.
Yeah, she better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask her. I'm going on vacation next week, so that would be
Perfect timing.
perfect.
Perfect
Yeah,
timing. Perfect timing.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. Does anyone else have any other
Yeah, taking
questions?
that copy of Temps to my grave.
I
Right?
agree.
No, all of my Melanie books are gonna come to me. So also, can we talk about how my Book Bonanza copy of Ignite, it isn't even signed.
What?
The hardback?
I didn't sign it?
Guys,
Nice.
I'm sorry. Next time I see you, we'll fix that.
well, it's okay. It's all of my. I'm very blessed.
So
Basically, almost
fun.
all of my other books from you are signed. So okay.
We'll
When I
fix it.
noticed that, I was like, oh my god! I was like, I didn't even get this signed.
It was hectic.
It was
Listen.
very hectic, but it was good. It was
Yeah.
organized chaos. It was good. Our I don't know if you can say, but they're coming out with Book Bonanza for 2024.
I am not at Book Bonanza 2024 only because I am doing 4 Brits in the UK next summer. So I had to kind of limit, all the places that I'm going, but I will be in Chicago. Wait, is Readers Take Denver before?
Denver.
Okay, so first Denver,
Mhm.
but don't ask me what the date is. I don't know.
No,
April?
I don't know when Readers
I
Take Denver.
should know this, but I don't. I'll look it up real fast.
So
Okay.
I'm not confirmed going right now, but we'll see.
Denver, Wild and Windy in May,
Mhm.
and then 4 Brits. Those are my confirmed 2024 signings right now.
Denver is April 18th through the 21st.
Okay, so April, May, and then 4 Brits is in July. I'm really excited. I've never done a UK event before, so I'm super excited about that.
Fun. So you've never done one in the UK before?
No, I did one years ago in France with my French publisher, but not since then. I haven't done any European events or anything outside of the US. I've never done Australia either. I really want to, but it's so far.
They're doing Babe 2025. They just announced it.
Really?
They are.
I'll think about it. I'm considering one in Vancouver. Is it Vancouver?
Yep, 2025 with Bang.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I just got that invitation this morning. So
Awesome.
if I can make that one work, I would like to make that one work. I know I have readers in Canada that I would love to see. I mean, I would love to see my readers from anywhere.
Listen, you do your best. You go to a lot of signings. They're a lot of work. Like people like going to my first one and like assisting. Like people don't realize how much work it is. Like I know it's it's good stress and like stressful for the attendee and the author going there, like the reader and the author. It's a lot, but
it's a lot, but it's great. I mean, to be in a room with 1,500 people who love books the way that you do, it's wonderful.
Was there a common question? Like, was there like a comment or like a question or a comment that like most people said at Book Bonanza, like I guess repeated the most when people were talking to you?
The man covers thing. It really got to me. I got on that plane to go home and I said to Kristie, I was like, I think I gotta go back. And I wasn't mad about it. I had been kind of searching for the certainty and it was there. It was delivered to me at Book Bonanza.
Well, that's why book signings are important. You get face to face with them and you really get feedback. I mean, in the moment. It's
very different. I love, connecting with readers online. My Facebook group is Harlow's Harlots. If anyone is on Facebook, I'm in all the places, but it's just different to have that FaceTime. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why also like just these book signings are growing in general. And like more authors are going. And I was actually talking to Tessa Bailey for a quick second today because she announced she was going to Book Bonanza. And I think that's her first time going because she was like, it's so huge. I'm so nervous. I was like, no, I was like, you're going to be great. I was like, you're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. But like, for these authors to go to a big event like that.
I mean, she's very, very popular and Book Bonanza, It has grown so much. There's some growing pains, but they're 100% aware. They are wonderful. They're going to do everything possible to smooth out the bumps from this year. I know they care so much, and they asked us all, like, what can we do to make things a little bit easier? So I think it's going to be great in 2024. I wish I could be there. I want to meet Tessa Bailey.
She's lovely. I've met her a couple times. She's my
She was
favorite.
in Chicago.
She was at Wild and Windy.
I met her in Chicago. Yeah.
I left my table for 2 minutes to go to the bathroom.
And I think she did leave early. I don't think she was there the whole time.
I would have hounded her.
Yeah.
I would have found her. Yeah.
She's delightful. I've been fortunate I was invited to like an event where I actually got to like talk to her, like a like thing for a book signing. And she's just she's so
I've listened to a lot of podcasts with her, and she's funny on TikTok. Like I've seen her. I would like to meet her. I think she's a fabulous.
You guys would get along. Yeah. Oh. All right. I don't know if anyone has any final questions as we head into an hour so far on this chat.
Time flies.
I don't know. No, there isn't a release date for book 3. It's just been
I usually try to release the Monday right before Thanksgiving. So I don't even know what that date is. It's usually somewhere in the November 20s. So the November 20s, that's all I can tell you guys. If I keep writing, I have a lot of travel this fall too. My brother's getting married next weekend, and I have a conference to go to and some retreats. I have 2 conferences and a retreat, so it's just a lot. So I gotta keep on my words to be able to release that book in the November 20s. But I will, promise. Scout's honor.
Isabella, I can't with you. Do not hop.
I would love to. That's a great name.
I was gonna do it first.
Isabella.
Isabella's trying to. Laura Pavlov wants Isabella to date her son.
Oh, that's fun.
So she was trying to. Laura Pavlov is very funny. Do you know her?
I've met her a couple of times, and actually, she is going to be at the retreat I'm going on in November. I cannot wait.
Tell her we say hi. Her and her husband, for like the split second that I talked to them at Book Bonanza, they were delightful. They were funny. She lives in Vegas, I think, which I didn't know.
I didn't expect that.
I'm pretty positive she actually lives in Vegas. I think she'll be at Love in Vegas also.
Oh, cool. I met her briefly in Chicago this year, and then Book Bonanza was such a blur. I saw her briefly, but I'm really excited to get to know her. I think we have a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about November.
Am I hearing like a small town anthology coming?
I was gonna say, there's all of you guys. You're all friends. Literally, Catherine, you, Elsie, Corinne.
All going to be there in November. I'll do what I can do.
I'm just saying, if you all write in one world together, small novellas, I would eat that up.
All my small town gals. Literally.
I'll do what I can do. Yeah.
No pressure, obviously.
No pressure, but I think
got it done. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you have no choice.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You guys will all be there.
Multi-author series. That's fun.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be fun.
They said, see, the people, they want it. We want more than
people want it. Mm-hmm.
Listen to the people, Melanie.
Yeah.
No pressure.
You guys could all collab on one epic book. Exactly. One series, one anthology.
Mm-hmm.
It could probably break Amazon records.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about breaking Amazon. It was broken on my release day, and it was yeah.
What
it was broken. It just the book released and then didn't move. It was like stuck at 3,000 in the store.
Else, I don't know if it was you. There was another author who mentioned
it happens a lot.
Same thing that happened with. Oh my God! Now I can't remember. I feel like it was another small town romance. Oh no! I think Sophie,
Megan,
one of her book releases, had an issue with Amazon. It wasn't charting.
Oh, it was Anastasia.
Yeah, it was Anastasia.
Oh,
on debauchery, so it wasn't working. It wasn't.
I mean, it's technology. It happens to everyone sooner or later. It was just my turn.
Wow.
But then things started moving again, and it's fine.
Very good. So it's as it should be. So give it up one more time for Hideaway Heart. Fun fact, this book made me cry. This book made Kristie cry too, not to call her out.
It did multiple times. I've read it twice now, cried both times. It's fine.
You guys are so funny. I'm like, this is not a sad book.
It's not. I was like so happy.
I said, I really think their connection, it felt so strong and so real to me. And I mean, obviously it's just a special book in general to me, but just it really at the end there, I think I was just overwhelmed with how perfect it was. You know what I mean? Because like I didn't know what the book, I had to, read it, when arcs were coming out like everyone else. I didn't read it before. I had no idea. All I knew was that it was a bodyguard romance about a country music star. Oh, and also the Dolly Parton quote in the front is incredible because I love Dolly Parton.
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah.
My hero. So I was so happy that she snuck in there. I was just very overwhelmed at the end. I thought that they were so cute and perfect.
It was. The love confession got me.
It was, it's just like you're one of your coziest yet, I think.
I love a cozy feeling.
Yeah. I wonder if I'll cry listening to it on audio. Maybe this will be one of the audiobooks that I slow down the speed a little bit so that I can really hear their accents. I hyper chipmunk speed, like 3 times. I like them to sound like little chipmunks and just keep moving, but I do want to hear her accent. So
yeah,
really take it in. So Isabella, you haven't read it yet. She's like, I have a tattoo for Dolly. I told you. I was getting my friends to read it.
Thank you.
And I even told my mom when I showed her the picture when it was like the Kelly and Xander character thing. I was like, Mom, look at this. I was like, her name's Kelly because of me. She was like, left speechless, and that doesn't happen for my Italian. So it was very special. And also, the pink cover is
I love pink. I mean,
is very, very cute. Do you have the colors mapped out for the next books? I know like Elsie Silver plans her colors like in advance. I think like for the theme of each book. For the cover, does it come to you when it comes to you?
No, I don't have anything planned out. I'm not a very like visual person. No, I let my designer take it away, and I've been lucky that she's so talented. Yeah.
Did you pick a male model for the third book yet? Maybe. Oh,
I
sure did. And he's beautiful.
I can concur. He's
definitely
very nice. It's perfect.
What a hard job you have looking at.
When we were looking for Hideaway Heart, I think I texted her and I was like, I effing love my job. And it was like I was at like picture 1,000 of just like half naked man, and I was like, I know this is so wrong, but like this is wonderful. It's like this guy doesn't even remotely look like him. He's blonde, but I'm still gonna look through all the photos. Like
I'm like, what is this? Is not right.
Yeah.
It's
a great job to have.
Oh, I have one more like question that someone asked, actually referring. It's a more of a niche question. Someone said, "Will there be a book for Chip? I want to go back to Cloverleaf Farms, please."
I knew it. I was waiting for that.
I'm never getting away from that question. I get asked a lot about going back to Cloverleaf Farms, and I never say never. So maybe perhaps once this current series is over, I will revisit. We will all return to Cloverleaf Farms.
Cloverleaf Farms 18th generation.
I feel like people do ask you a lot about keeping it going with the generations, like even after Cloverleaf Farms 2nd gen. They were like, but they have can you just keep it going?
They were like, there are characters you didn't tell us about, like what they need a book. But I wanted a new entry point for some readers. I think that I have to balance like trying to bring new readers in who need a true entry point and who don't want to feel like, well, I don't have time to read 9 books. But I know what it feels like to really want to be sure that you're going to love this thing. So I will take us all back to Cloverleaf Farms. Yes, and I think I have to write that Chip and Mariah book. Like, I thought I was so clever tying them together in an epilogue, and people were like, "Well, no, I need the whole story."
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
But I think it's smart. We have the new series again that starts with Runaway Love. I did, like I said, I got asked a few times, where would you start with your books? If you want to start with the new series, the new one, you can do Runaway Love. Then it's Hideaway
Heart.
Other books, you can keep up with the releases. They don't end on cliffhangers or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. So full standalone about a couple. And Hideaway Heart is out now. It's one of my favorite books ever. It's incredible. It's beautiful. It's stunning. You're gonna love it. I had so many messages about it. People on Instagram and TikTok. It was really fun to also see videos pop up on like my feed of people reading it and loving it. And I feel like also I stalk like all of the Instagram stories from Melanie of people being like, I love this book so much. Like, I was saying it's your book, but it also feels.
I hope it does. I hope it does feel like yours too.
It feels like I wrote a book, even though I absolutely did. I just know.
You inspired a book. You inspired.
It feels like I wrote the book.
That's fair.
So funny. Like, it's the most bizarre feeling. Like when people just like, they talk about it and they're like, oh, Kelly Jo and Xander, I loved her. I loved them. It was so great. I was like, did you really? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would even recommend people having characters named after them because it's very overwhelming.
Right. Yeah.
If it's like a lead character, especially if they kind of look like you. Thank God you gave her green eyes and freckles, which I don't have. Because if it was like blue eyes, it would have been actually too much.
Well, I gave Veronica blue eyes. So
I was like, oh, Veronica is blonde hair.
Yep. So I was looking for something a little different. It was perfect. I loved writing her red hair.
I mean, listen, redheads in small towns. They're also their fan favorite characters, I think, and romances. So it's always a good way to go. Yeah. But that was it. It's been an hour. This was a lovely chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I love you so much. I had to do both. Again, it was a Team Harlow reunion.
Yes.
Love it.
For you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being here. Again, what's great about this is the video, the chat can save, so anyone can go back and watch the live, which is incredible. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you, Melanie and Kristie.
My pleasure.
Hideaway Heart is out now. Go read it, please. I know you're gonna read it. I haven't read it yet. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.